Hi, it's Mrs. Mallet, and today we're going to talk about factoring x-squared trinomials when you have a number in front. Now, I showed you the grouping method. Now, this is called the tic-tac-toe method. So the way that you do this is just like we played the game tic-tac-toe, that's how we're going to set this up. So what you want to do first is draw your board. Draw your tic-tac-toe board. And I did put a PowerPoint of this also under the PowerPoint section of this module. So the first term, so the 3x squared, the whole first term goes in your first box. So you're going to put your first term in your first box. Your last term of 6 goes in the second box. Now multiply those two together. What's 3x squared times 6? That's 18x squared, and that's going to go in your last box. So now what are we looking for? We're looking for two numbers that multiply to the 18x squared and combine to 11x. So they have to combine to 11x and they have to multiply to 18x squared. Now keep in mind that you have the same sign and they're both positive right here. Okay, so now what are the ways to get 18? Well, there's 1 and 18, there's 2 and 9, and there's 3 and 6. Okay, so which one of those methods gives you 11? Right, the 2 and 9. So I have positive 2x and a positive 9x. It doesn't matter what number you put there as long as you remain consistent throughout the rest of your board. Now let's fill in the rest of our board, and I like to go here. So what number right here times what number here is 3x squared? Obviously 1x and 3x. However, let me show you for right now. If I put a 3x here and a 1x here, will I make sense going across? For instance, 3x times what number is 2x? There is no number. That makes no sense. So you want to that's why I said you want to keep in mind that your numbers go in the right order. So my 3x will go here and my 1x will go here. Now we can fill in the blanks going across to make sure we make sense. X times what number is 2x? Right, 2. And 3x times what number is 9x? Right, 3. So now you want to make sense. Do I make sense going up and down as well as left and right? Yes, I do. So now your diagonals are your factors. So my final answer for this will be 3x plus 2 times x plus 3. And this is my answer for this right here using the tic-tac-toe method. Let's try it again. Okay, so let's use this one. Draw your board. So your first term of 8x squared goes in the first box. Your last term of 5 goes in the next box. So now multiply those two together. So you get 40x squared. Now look here, you have the same sign and they're both negative. So here I'm going to have negative numbers. So I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to 40x squared and combine to negative 22x. Now what are your numbers? So think of all the ways to get 40. There's 1 times 40, there's 2 times 20, there's 4 times 10, there's 5 times 8, there's no 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now look at these with the same sign. How can I get 22? Right, 2 and 20. So I have a negative 2x and a negative 20x. Okay, so now let's jump over here and fill in our blanks here. How can we get what times what is 8x squared? Right, 8 times 1 or 4 times 2. You want to make sure you make sense going this way as well. So in this case, we're going to use 4x times 2x because we want to make sense going left to right. Okay, so now let's fill in our middle section. 2x times what number is negative 2x? Right, negative 1. And 4x times what number is negative 20x? Right, negative 5. Look to make sense that look to see that you make sense going up and down as well as left and right, and you do. So your factors are 4x minus 1 and 2x minus 5. So I have 4x minus 1 and 2x minus 5. It doesn't matter how you write which binomial goes first as long as you have both of them on there. Now let's do this last one here. Okay, so let's draw our board. So 3n squared goes here and 5 goes here. So 3n squared times 5 is 15n squared. And both of your signs are both positive. So you're looking for two numbers that multiply to 15 and combine to 20. Okay, so there's 1 times 15 and there's 3 times 5. Do either one of those methods give you 20? No. So whenever we can't factor it, that means that it is prime. Exactly right. So I just showed you the tic-tac-toe method. Remember, in setting this up, you want to set up your board by putting your first term in the first box, your last term in the last box, and multiply to get your factors of what you need to look for. And I also have a PowerPoint of this as well under the PowerPoint section of this module. We just learned the tic-tac-toe method.